Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Hey guys.
Welcome to our first live show discussion for the Laini Taylor read-along, where we have our Daughter Smoke and Bone and Night of Cake and Puppets. This
I didn't get it.
is the horrendous original cover, but what does this have anything to do with it? You know?
Don't know.
The mask.
Oh, the masquerade ball?
Yeah.
That's all I can think of.
Very minor.
Oh.
I feel like
In the very beginning.
Yeah. In grand scheme of story.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with our introductions and ratings and service level thoughts. Kaylani, you want to start us off?
Sure. Hi, I'm Kaylani from Kaylani Simply Me on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. I really enjoyed this story, and I didn't know if I was going to. Younger YA is kind of hard for me because I always feel like I'm not going to connect to the characters as much as I would have in my younger years, but I actually found this to be super entertaining and relatable at times, and obviously super unrelatable at times. It's a fantasy. It's supposed to be, but I don't know. I just really liked the characters, and they were quirky, and they were fun, and they felt different, and I liked it. I think I'm settling on a 4.5, which was a lot higher than I thought I was going to give it, so I will take it.
Yay. I guess maybe we'll start with just Smoke and Bone for now, and then we'll do our ratings for the next one, if that makes sense.
Perfect.
So you're at a 4.5 for Smoke and Bone?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like it.
Stunning.
And I think I'll talk about my reasoning for my 0.5 when we get a little bit further in. But I was at a 4, and then one thing got me to a 0.5.
Stunning. Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Lyndsay from She Is Booked and Busy on Instagram and YouTube. I completely agree with Kaylani. I was very hesitant going into this because I'm a geriatric, okay? So YA for me is sometimes unrelatable at this point, but I gave Daughter Smoke and Bone a 4-star, and I was pleasantly surprised by how much I liked it.
Stunning. Stunning. Okay. Well, hello everybody. I'm Dana. You can find me on YouTube at Dana Ella, Instagram at Dana Ella Reads. We were very excited, I think, to dive into Laini because I've never, this is, I believe for all of us, this is our first Laini, right? And I was just very excited, and then I was hearing such great buzz from other people that were reading it along with us, and they were just like, I'm loving it. And so I was like, oh man, I think it made me excited but also a little more nervous because like you guys said, sometimes YA is too hard at our age, great for the age group, but I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I'm gonna go with a 4-star, but I really liked it. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Okay. Hi guys, I'm Karina. You can find me at She Doing Some Words here on YouTube and Instagram, and I am settling on a 4-star for Smoke and Bone. I really enjoyed the writing and the storytelling. I felt like it was such a quick read too, thankfully, with the short chapters, which is always nice. And I was very pleasantly surprised with such a older YA fantasy.
Yeah.
It's really good. I liked it.
Yeah, I think that was part of the nervousness, was knowing how old it was. Just because some things don't age, some things don't age well. But surprised. I can't wait to hear what that 0.5 was, because I'm ready to be convinced.
Well, I mean, it's a small thing, I feel like, but I don't know. It was just I don't know. We'll talk about it. But I do think there are a few things in the book that did not age well, and I don't know if anyone else caught them. But there were a few lines here and there, and I was like,
side eye.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
All right, let's see what everyone has to say. Hi, Liz. Yeah, the covers are ugly. Well, I think these are ugly.
Yeah, I think
the new ones are so much.
Yeah,
I love these.
I really like this one too. This one's really pretty.
Stunning.
Love it. Gave them both 4 stars. Really enjoyed this, although I did have to pay attention and may have missed stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like this was one where I had to really lock in.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. which isn't a bad thing, but I needed to pay attention a little more.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more, we'll touch more in depth about this, but I feel like part of the reason why I had to lock in, why I found myself like having to pay attention is because this was really unique. It was unique writing and it was a unique storyline. So sometimes I can kind of tune out if I've read it before, but I've never read anything like it before. So that was just my take.
Yeah, just like different.
Yeah.
Story. Yeah. Hi, Megan.
Hey.
I haven't read any of these books. I'm just here for the vibes and to provide moral support. Oh,
I love that. Hopefully we inspire you to pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know if the discussion piques your interest. Hi, Sam.
Yes.
Oh, 5 stars. I love it.
Stunning.
Love it. Yes, we do appreciate you for sure. Hi, Kishma. Welcome.
All these 5 stars.
I love it.
Love it.
Stars. Oh, Susanna was my girl.
Love Susanna.
Oh, okay. Liz didn't realize. Wait, don't think I realized it was YA too much. That's good.
It wasn't aggressive YA, yeah.
Yeah, which is nice because sometimes.
Yeah. I got a little nervous when they were talking about like high school, and I was like, "Oh God, like, not do it too hard." But yeah, no, it wasn't. It was not an aggressive YA.
Yeah. Okay. Well, since we're already talking about the characters, we want to talk about like favorite characters, least favorite characters, all the things.
Go ahead.
Well, we can talk about Susanna since Liz,
loved her. Loved her. She was spunky.
Yes.
Very much fit her like whole vibe. I feel like I just loved it.
Yeah.
I
Super
think
confident.
Yeah. I also think too, like for like a side character, like because obviously you have like Karu and Akiva, and then the whole like fantastical world with characters, and then you have Susanna, who's just like, just the little bestie in art school, and I just feel like she was so like fleshed out. Like I feel like she had such a strong presence that sometimes you don't really see all the time in like side characters, but I feel like she made an impact with the time that she did have on page, and she was just so quirky, like so spunky and so fun. I was like, Susanna, you really are that girl, like out there.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
You're good. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say she's so ride or die.
Yeah.
I was just about to say she was so loyal. Karu was full on like, "Hey, I'm a demon," and she was like, "Cool, want to go to dinner?"
Yeah. Let's go to poison real quick.
Like, you want the blue wash or what? Like,
so like,
it didn't face her, like not at all.
Like she watched Kishmish. Like,
oh my god!
I was gonna say he was one of my favorites. I was so sad when Kishmish. I was like, no.
That had me teary eyed.
I envisioned him in my brain as like, is it Iago? No, Zazu from The Lion King. I don't know why. Like Zazu.
I'm gonna cry now.
I don't know why.
That one was hard.
That was tough.
Yeah,
that was tough.
Very much.
I liked Mick a lot too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
just like a little cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you think about like how much Susanna is, like how we were saying, just like so unique. Like for somebody to just love and appreciate her, like, it's like when they were walking by the water, and she's just like, Karu's just like watching them be just so in love and so happy.
Their little bubble, living blissfully. So
like she's like Susanna is such like main character energy though, and she needs someone to just like sit back and let her be her unique self, right? And I feel like at least to this point, he's done that pretty well.
Yeah,
almost like an admiration to almost just be like, wow, like look at you go, and just love her for it. I think that's definitely cool. Do you guys like Akiva?
Yeah, he was all right. It was. I'm interested to see where the story goes because I feel like there's more to this.
Yeah.
There's history here that we don't know about yet.
Oh yeah.
and I picked up on it. Like, that'll be part of our predictions, but I picked up on some history. He's still like in the shadows to me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't know him as well as the other characters, but I liked him. He's good.
I liked him too. I enjoyed him. But you know, it's like, I think also from like a lot of like romances we read, like we really love like he falls first moment, and I just really love that he was like, yeah, you might try and kill me, but I'm coming back. Like,
I said, I need that.
I also think it's funny that you say that from all of the romances that we read, you guys know how much I don't like a then and now timeline. Like, y'all know I don't like that. Tell me why I was in love with him from the past. I was like, that's my man. That's my man.
She said, my man's my man's my man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I cannot wait to see more of that. I feel like I hope we get more of that. There's a story that we haven't gotten yet from then that I want to see. That's, I don't know. What made him him?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Kaylani, how did you feel about him in the present?
Oh, no, I loved him in the present too. But like when he was making that little shot for her, I said, ah!
Yeah. And are we discussing Night of Cake and Puppets yet, or wait?
I would say maybe if you can
wait.
Hold on.
Wait. No, it was good.
You want to put in the private chat to like keep it fresh?
Yeah.
Just a little thought. Okay, what about Karu, our main girl? Like,
I enjoyed her. I thought she was so strong, and I think like obviously, right? Like there was things in the past that she eventually, you know, came to. But if you think about her before, like not knowing any of this, thinking that you had no magic, thinking that you were just a regular human, and like being young, and the way that she just shouldered that like a champ. I mean, like, you know, it's like how we were giving Susanna credit for being like, Karu being like, I'm a demon. And she's like, well, bestie, you hungry? Like, you know, it's like, but also just like Karu. I mean, obviously it's like what she knew because that's how she was raised with like, oh my God, brain blanking out.
Brimstone?
Yeah. And so it's like, but I just think about like her being just like so like, oh, like out there fighting her way through things, learning languages, like, you know, just like doing what she does. And then also being like, yeah, and then I'm going to also go excel in my art classes. Like, I don't know. I think she was just really so cool. And I was enjoying her even before we got like, obviously like the big like connection of like past to present. Like, I was just enjoying her like on her own before that.
Yeah.
She was, I think I liked the use of wording. She was cool. Like, she was just a cool girl.
She had a lot of like layers to her.
Yeah.
I think we also got to see like a really good glimpse of her personality from the jump. Like that first like 2 chapters where she was like, let me just make his junk itch and like we'll be good. Like we're fine. Like that's my best friend right there. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was a little, did anyone else I don't know if naive is the right word, but a little like, I think she wanted to be in the dark a little bit on some stuff though. So I don't know if it was necessarily naive or it was just like, she didn't ask questions. She just didn't, if I ask a question, I'm going to get the answer. And I don't know if I want the answer. I think that was it, but it wasn't really frustrating to me. I think it was purposeful.
Yeah. Like it showed her age a little bit, maybe.
Well, and also just how you're conditioned, like she was raised that way. So Brimstone said, go and get these teeth, girl. And instead of just being like, and why? She was just like, okay, get off, I go to Morocco, right? Like she didn't really ask. There was no, but I think it was like a testament of when you're raised like that, it's just her normal. So she didn't ask.
Yeah. I feel like Brimstone also just like was not very forthcoming. I feel like nobody was very forthcoming with like details. So I think it's like anytime that she wanted to know something, like she couldn't, or like they would put her, because I remember they would talk about like when she was older, she had her own like apartment, but like they would talk about her old bed, like her cot back there, and where she was never allowed to go into the office, and she was never allowed, like, so I think like I'm sure it became a type of conditioning where it's like she was like, it is what it is, you know, I don't know what I don't know. But I think like Brimstone just was not forthcoming with a lot, which is very interesting as to why, like, he didn't want to tell
Give
some
her-
things.
Yeah.
A little heads up, especially when I think also like just especially when he knew like something was brewing, when like the handprints were popping up, you know, and I understand him maybe wanting to give her a chance at like a normal-ish life of sorts, you know, and not tell her like the burden of what her past was. But like when something started happening, I feel like Brimstone, babe, that would be the time. Maybe, you know,
Shed a little bit of light.
Yeah, the time is now. Like maybe tell her a couple things
at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Liz doesn't read much fantasy, so it was different. Which means that it did not read as annoying YA at all. There was some slight steam.
Yeah.
Mentions of it.
Yeah. Illusions. I don't know if that makes sense, but Susanna was funny. She gave it all some levity. I was so happy to see she was the one in book 1.5.
Yeah.
Susanna was such a great human. She was stability amongst the fantastical characters. Yeah. She kind of like grounded the story into like the present day, I feel like, and like the urban setting.
No, you took the words right out of my head because I was going to say, it was like, she really grounded it, like gave it like, you were right there.
Perfect. I love that the weirdos follow each other.
Yeah.
You know, you want someone to accept every part of them. So
wait, what is it? Somebody matched her freak.
Yeah.
My son would be so upset if he heard me right now. He'd like, stop talking.
Side eye.
He's gonna pull the Wi-Fi.
He's turning off the wireless as we speak.
And you're done. Liz liked most of the characters in this, and I usually have people I can't stand a bit, especially at first. That's valid. Akiva in the past was just like, you know?
I want more.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Liz. I didn't have anyone I despised, really, aside from her ex-boyfriend, but he wasn't too involved, so it didn't bother me. Yeah.
The epitome of like, take a hint. Like, he's not that into you.
He was delusional.
I feel like it's just so annoying. but in such a harmless way. Like he was just like, literally, it's like, take a hint. And like Karina said, like very Delulu. But it was like he had no idea of like all these other things brewing, and he was like, "So you don't like me? Like, are you sure?"
Not even when she flipped him.
But oddly enough, he was probably the most like the most age normal, like because he was just like your standard 18-year-old boy. Like you can't fathom that someone might not think you're amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't know, like you said, that all this other stuff was going on. So he was probably the most like normal, age appropriate wise of all of them.
Yeah.
Let's forget about him.
Paz.
I was so happy to have a strong FMC. She didn't annoy me like some others currently are. Yeah, I agree. Hello, Liza. Welcome. Okay, let's see if we're talking like a little bit about the characters. I want to ask this question.
Oh, sorry.
No, I
just wanted to say like, because I know we were talking about characters that we liked. I just want to say the whole little like Brimstone shop. Like I just loved their little like Issa Brimstone like. Yeah. And as like obviously like we read more like what a heavy burden Brimstone carries, like and just the way that he like cherishes the magic because he understands like
the cost
of it. But just I loved like their little like found family in the way that it just like like went from one time and then to a next. Like they stayed connected. And just like still continue to build. But I just also want to say I want to put some hate on Madrigal's sister. I just want to make sure the hate is there. Okay. And now I can move on. I just want to say.
Yeah. What's her name though?
Karu?
No, Karu is.
Oh, that's right.
What's her name?
She said,
Start
"Career
with
saved her."
CH.
Oh, Chiro, CHIRO, Cairo.
Cairo. That's very similar, Kaylani. You're right.
Yeah,
I was
just
close.
literally opened up.
You were. And I
It was
laughed, and I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah,
go.
here it is. Cairo. Like magical, Cairo had bat wings with the head of a jackal. Wow, what a looker. She must have been.
Cute.
She was real cute.
Yeah.
And now I see why she was such a hater.
Yeah.
I'd be a hater too if I had bat wings and a jackal head.
She said, and then you chose to put me back like this.
Yeah.
That part was so funny.
She was salty.
She said, "This is you." And she
This
chose.
is the best we could do. You get this, and I get a jackal head and bat wings.
She's like, that's all that was available. Sorry.
That would turn me too.
Yeah.
She
Well,
said, "But I
it's the
put
fact that,
diamonds
like,
in it."
Yeah, she's like, I use diamonds and jade, and you're upset?
Mhm.
I don't have a problem with the diamonds, girl. Could we not have gotten a cuter like animal to put with the diamonds?
At least the head. Shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, since we're like talking about the past, after Madrigal dies, why do you think Akiva goes back on his promise to not kill any more Chimera?
Was it really a choice? I mean, he kind of had to, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he shouldn't have made the promise in the first place.
Probably not.
No.
I feel like it was like one of those like scorched earth moments. Like the woman he loves is gone, and if he has to live forever like this, I'm ruining it for everybody. You know, like, and I don't know. I'm not exactly mad about the rage of it all. You know, I mean, obviously, yowza, with the ones that did end up dying that we found out about. You know, but like. I just feel like he did not know that she was, you know, going into another body. So he was like, well, she was the light at the end of his like murderous tunnel. And so the light was gone. All that's left was
Murder.
Rage.
You know,
Vengeance.
yeah.
Yeah. Because it was her people that ultimately did her wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he just,
And if I was forced to watch, sorry.
Go ahead, Kaylani, you first.
No, I was just saying, if I was forced to watch the love of my life get slaughtered in front of me, like I would want death too. Okay.
Yeah, he made the promise not expecting her to be gone. He made the promise with the assumption that she lived.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like, I think it was just one of those heat of the moment promises, and then it didn't work out. And he was like, never mind, I take it back.
Right. Like she's gone. Why do I have to honor that promise?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think too, it was like also kind of like that promise was, you know, how they were creating that like new world and like what their perfect world would be like when they were like a new place. And I feel like that promise was like in almost kind of like in that perfect scenario, you know, but if like his whole life and his whole training is to believe that all Chimera are bad, right? Yeah. And the only one that's been kind to him, you know, is then like you said, like slaughtered in front of him by her own people. That just reinforces that they're terrible people. He's been tortured. Like, you know, like when those scenes when like she's talking to Brimstone about like, I can hear it. Like, and it doesn't stop, you know? And it's like, I feel like all it did was reinforce all of those like learned things that he had, you know, before. Mm-hmm. And also like, you know, his mom let him go, which I'm interested to see kind of like more of that story about like who his mom was. Cause the dad kind of like, you know, put a little sprinkle of like, intrigue in there, you know, but obviously like, his dad is an ick. And then like, it's just, he had no real love, I feel like. And then the one person he did love and it was snatched away. Like,
cause Seraphim, they're kind of like bred for one purpose and one purpose only. So I'm like, Liz said, what does he have to lose after she dies?
Right. Right. Exactly.
And also, if you're being told, like, you know that she's not going to be, well, actually at that point, oh no, he did know, but he knows that the reincarnation thing is a thing at this point because what's his face was like yibber yabbering during torture, and like he knows that nobody's around to like for her to save the soul. Like he knows, like this is it. Like there's no more. You know, it wasn't even like there's a subtle chance that I could find her again. You know.
Yeah. This made me cackle inside. I mean,
Really?
I do that.
I just want to say, side note to this, like, did you see that Nick Cannon did say, like, he would get back with Mariah, but he knows she doesn't want him? And I was like, well, no, of course she does not want you now. I just need to say that. And then, yeah, that's it.
And all his other baby mamas were like, wait, but what about me?
Girl, now all I'm thinking about is Brie on Selling Sunset being like,
right. Yep. Exactly. Okay. I missed a few of Liz's comments. I love when the women in the book are likable because it doesn't always happen and the man is propped up more.
Yeah.
And then, although she was sheltered, they did let her be free with all the traveling and trusted her to lead a double life. Okay.
Good.
That double life, I really loved how she was like, no, I can just tell the truth, but if I just quirk my head and smile a little bit, nobody believes me. Like, I just like love that. My hair is blue.
Yeah.
It's natural.
But like really, if somebody came up to you and was like, yesterday I fought like an angel.
Okay.
Like, sure you did.
Yeah.
Okay. We can talk about our favorite scenes and least favorite scenes. I know we kind of touched upon a few different things.
I have one.
Tell us.
Let's hear it.
It's when Susanna goes to the cafe and she's like, I'm gonna murder him. I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna lay down the law. And she goes, oh, wait a second. You need to breathe with him right now.
I love that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so quirky and fun. As the person that's like the ride or die, oh, I got your back. Like he needs to withhold the standards. Oh wait, actually, him, you together right now.
Maybe after. We'll worry about standards later. It's never too late to have standards.
Yeah.
So, like, she came in ready for war.
Yeah.
And then she's like, surrender. Like,
white flag, white flag.
One of my favorite parts, I think, is the cover of Karina's book. I loved that, like, he understood the danger. Like, he was not, like how we said, like, he was bred for, like, war. Like, he was a soldier. Like, how he would, like, she would be like, oh, my God, you did all of that. Like, when Carew would talk to him, or Madrigal or whatever, like, and he would just be like, soldier. Like I'm a soldier. And it's like, he fully understands, like, how dangerous it would be for him to go into a place full of chimera. He has no backup. Like, nobody's with him. He's almost died one time before at that battle. Like, and he was just like, no, but I had to come for you. And I was just like, tell me Akiva. Like,
that was my favorite scene, I think. The battle, and when he like helps him, when she heals him when she shouldn't have, and then his, like, he could never let that go, and then their eyes lock in Morocco. I think that was like the combination of those two was like my favorite moment, when he realizes that was her and he's been thinking about her that whole time, and why did she help him? Why did she not kill him? Why did she help, like, let him live? I think that was my favorite scene.
Yeah.
I think one of the most, like, pivotal parts of the book was when, in the present day, when his brother and sister, you know, they all kind of came to a head and he had to pretty much pick a side. And, you know, that made me, like, a little swoony.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it was like, sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, in that scene, like, it was like no questions asked. Like, he was like, get behind me. And y'all need to back up. And I was like, Akiva.
Because Carew, you know, she didn't know which side he would go on.
Yeah.
Because that's his kind. And she's like, you know, they don't really know each other.
Yeah.
So it was nice to, like, see him.
Like, him drop to his knees.
Oh, that was a good one.
You know we love a man on his knees, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Love it. I think another really good moment before the big, like information drop, but when Carew comes back to herself and, like, has full understanding of the past, and she's like, it's like loving him with two beings, and it was like overwhelming. Like I loved the explanation of like how much she loved him with like her past love and then her present love. Like that was really beautiful as well.
Least favorite for me was Kishmish. I feel like I messaged Karina. I think I messaged you and I was like, no.
It was so, I feel like that was such a like intense, like sudden moment we weren't expecting. So that just like hit the feels, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely not a favorite part.
Did it give anybody just vibes? Obviously not the same, but the Phoenix in Harry Potter.
Fox, yeah.
Like, you know, I was just like, oh, okay, this is sad.
When he showed on fire, I was like, I was in denial. I was like, he's a demon. He could be on fire. He's fine. He's
Right.
And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, what? He's not okay. Demons can't be on fire. That's going to be a problem.
Right.
So, yeah, I was hoping he was okay. I'm hoping he was Fox.
I do like this where, let me go back to it. It's such a Romeo and Juliet trope, but with family rather than each other. That's a good point.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a unique take on that. Masquerade party was my favorite scene. Like Akiva, you are risking your life to get your woman. Yes, sir.
Right.
We applaud.
With zero care too. He was like, I don't even care. I'm going in.
Yeah. I also love how like he changed his mask every time he like came back to her. That was so cute.
But she still knew it was him.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Teared up for a bit with Brimstone in the jail. Oh yeah. Either over Peru when they were setting this all up to resurrect her. Showed Brimstone's humanity and that he did have a heart and just wants to try and save people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting that you ended up having like a connection and a heart with her demon family. Like I think that was a very interesting part of the book that you didn't end up automatically hating the demons, which is normally what happens. I don't feel like I ever did. I didn't hate Brimstone ever.
No.
Never hated him, but definitely loved him. I think when you understood the gravity of like his job.
Yeah.
And like,
the toll it takes on him.
But also like she's kind of a liability for them almost in a way. And he protected her so often. She really was like a daughter to their little collective family. Hence started there you go.
Yeah. I did love how they were like so protective of her, you know, like Issa and
in their own way.
Yeah. Said, side note, if you listen to the audiobook, why did Brimstone's character sound Jamaican?
Like a little Cajun vibe too, though. I listened to the audiobook and he was like, I agree. It was a little weird.
That was a choice. She's right. Okay, let me see. Okay, I did want to ask this question because I thought it was pretty interesting. Like, why do you think Susanna puts up with Carew, who isn't a very reliable friend? What does Carew's friendship offer Susanna?
Incredible question. Great job on that.
Thanks,
I think they recognized a mutual weirdness in each other, right? Like, I think for me, they almost connected over. I wouldn't go so far as to say outcasts, but I guess outcasts. They really were. And I think that connection made them understand that they wanted the same thing out of friendship. Neither of them wanted a friendship where you were going to be with each other 24 hours a day. They had this unconditional understanding for each other. I think that was really cool. I don't know. That was my take on it.
Yeah. I think sorry, go ahead. No, you go first.
I was just saying like how we talked about how Susanna is Carew's like ride or die. I think it's like no questions asked. You don't need to explain the bond that they share. It's just like mutually understood.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that could.
But I also feel like when it counted, Carew was there. Like when Susanna really needed her, like even I guess we're not talking about that yet, but like when Susanna needed those texts, even though she was worlds apart, she was still there. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like that's a true like power of friendship. It's like sometimes you don't always have to be there like every single moment, but you guys can still be locked in, you know?
Mhm.
I think I don't know if I'm making it up, but I think there was a time where Susanna kind of like questioned her about like, yo, like,
She did.
where are you going, bro? You know, but I do think kind of like how Lyndsay said, like, they needed somebody to accept like who they were. And they found that in each other, like no judgments and just like love, you know? And I think too, just like, you know, Susanna had like a whole family, you know?
Yeah.
And Peru, I think she was just very aware that like we are in high school and you live by yourself. Clearly, like you don't have as many like people just kind of like in your 24/7 life, kind of, you know? And so it's like I think like there's probably like an understanding there. And then just to know like, wow, you just have to go and do these things. Like, I mean, just she's like on your travels, but I wonder how much of it did Susanna not completely believe? Like, you know how like Carew like kind of tells things with like,
Just
you
like a
know,
little, like you can believe it or you don't believe it, but it's true.
There was like in essence, they were always like in contact in some way though. And I feel like Dana said, maybe I made this up, but wasn't there a part where Carew took a while to answer her and she had a moment where she was like, I hope she's okay, but I know she'll get back to me.
Yeah.
That was like the vibe of their, they always came back to each other. They just had stuff going on.
I love that. Yeah. He made her his apprentice and taught her stuff that could get him in trouble.
Yeah.
Brimstone.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I also want to go back to this a little bit. I don't know if you guys like clocked it, but I really thought that it was interesting that like Brimstone was constantly like berating Karu for making really silly wishes, like small nonsensical wishes. But they were all wishes from a past life that she would like tease him about. She's like, I'm gonna make my hair blue. Remember on her wishbone?
Oh.
She's like, I'm gonna make my hair blue, or I'm gonna do this. And those are all the wishes that he basically like let her have as this free woman that she was now able to be without the shackles of being a chimera.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool.
I did not catch that at all, but I just got some chills when you said that.
I did too, and I didn't catch it. But now that you say that, that is an interesting dynamic of like when you're talking about like angels and demons, like the free will theme, right? That it's funny that the demon side was so accepting of her free will to do what she wanted. They gave her a little hate for it, but they didn't take it away at the end of the day. That's an interesting angels and demons free will theme. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I caught the blue hair. Like I caught that, like when she said like, I'm going to wish for blue hair. And then I was like, hey, she's got blue hair. But like, I do remember like Brimstone really kind of being like, you know, you use these things basically like willy-nilly, you know, and Issa just being like, let her live, you know. But I think that still like goes into more of like Brimstone being the one that carried the heaviest part of that burden and like how hard it probably was for him to let her be like, you know, so carefree. But I think it was a beautiful part of like that growth in his character of how much he loved her, that like, you know, she is getting those things like Kaylani said that she had, you know, jokingly talked about before, even if he does give her a little, you know, a little flack for it. But
well, at the end of the day, he was going to have to clean up the mess if she did something messed up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was what he was thinking.
Yeah.
Said real recognizes real.
Truth.
For the two. Crew's out here on her travel to different dimensions, getting her girl some nice gifts and hyping her up about getting her man.
So cute.
Yeah. Very true.
Hey, I'm pulling for you, and also here's a bracelet.
Yeah. I think it was super relatable too. You can't expect someone to be available to you 24/7, but when you need it, they're always there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Different seasons. Like it happens to everyone. Like once again, I'm the geriatric one, right? But like once again, you go through like high school and maybe even college where you're with your friends every single day or even like dorm with them, right? And then you grow up and you're that relationship dynamic. They just got to that point in their relationship quicker
Yeah.
than other people where like you might not see each other every day, you might not talk every day, but when you're together, it's fine. I think they just had that. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam says she did catch that. She
Yeah.
loves that they included that.
You people are smart cookies. I didn't get that.
Same. That is what I was thinking too, Kaylani. It is fully giving her the choice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But it's like those little things that make you love those characters more, even though when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, they were really only in 1/3 of the book.
Mhm.
And they had an impact through so much of it, you know?
Yeah. I'm telling you, that has to be a testament to her writing, that like some of the characters that we've been able to sit here and chat about like extensively are really just like side characters. But wow, did she really write them like so well, like that the time that you did have with them, like it was meaningful, like interactions. And yeah, shout out.
And very not common in a YA to be so attached to a found family like that always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, stunning.
Okay, so this is kind of a fun one. Well, it's a two-parter. Okay. If you could wish for anything, what would you wish for? However, if someone else would feel pain as a result of your wish, would you still make it?
Ooh, Karina, you're making me, this is like existentialism here.
Okay, question. Because those the little teeth, like I can't remember the name of it, but the ones where it was like, where it was just like a little wish, you know, and like when Brimstone would give her those, because he was like, that is like a pain that's easy. And like, what are we talking about? Like, are we talking about like, is it like paper cut easy? Who has to feel it, you know? Like,
I also have a secondary question. We've also seen that you can use your own well of pain to make your own wishes. So could I hurt myself to get my own wish?
That's the question, because I'll give myself a paper cut for my blue hair. I'll do it. You know?
For your what?
Well, and how long too? Like, how long is the pain?
Yeah.
Right? Like if the pain's 15 minutes to better my situation or to better our situation when the world is burning, I might be more willing. But I don't know.
Like you said, like that well of pain. So like if you experience like, you know, a loss, right? Like everybody's had a loss in their life. Like, could you draw on that well of pain for every wish that you've like ever had?
I like how we're trying to think of loopholes out.
Yeah, because we're good people. We don't want other people.
Yeah. But I feel like it's a really beautiful question of, or like testament to sometimes pain is necessary to get through it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so if the pain is necessary, sometimes it's a hard call, but it's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is a valid question.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do I get to
choose?
Yeah. So I don't have an answer to our question. I don't. This is just for fun.
What would you say though? What would be? Where's your mind going?
I think I would want to be able to teleport. You know, have the ability to teleport.
Yeah.
Okay, but if someone else would feel the pain, would you still want that wish?
If I could choose the person, and it would be me, you know, I don't think I could wish pain among. I guess. I don't know.
If I choose the person, I would.
Like the person too. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I got somebody in there.
Like there are people where I'd sleep just fine.
Like, could I choose somebody like who's done like a heinous thing?
Right.
You know, that's just like, like you like have really just done a terrible,
about 75 paper cuts.
Terrible thing, you know, and like you're just sitting in jail, like for something you've done that like other people will never be able to recover from. You can have my paper cut. Okay. Like, yeah.
Okay, now if I had to choose one, I actually kind of liked Karu's. I wish I could speak every language.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be very cool. I think communication is like the key to any relationship. So to be able to communicate with anybody I ever wanted to, that'd be so fun.
That is. I don't know.
I want to be
Sorry,
invisible.
go
Invisible.
ahead. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
One
fun.
invisibility cloak, if you will.
I'm a chismosa. I would abuse that thing to the utmost ability.
Yeah. There's nothing I wouldn't be able to do if I was invisible. Let's do it.
True.
Okay. It's funny because during the swoony like weekend, that was one of the questions I got was like, if you could have any superhero like or superpower, what would you choose?
Mhm.
And mine on there was flying or teleportation. Like that would be
That'd be
yeah.
amazing. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't need a portal to go to where you want to go. You can just do it.
I'm gone. Yeah.
But if I'm invisible, can't I just like hop a plane?
Valid.
Right? Like who nobody even knows I'm here. I'm just riding in the back near the snack cart.
Yeah.
Right?
Eating my pretzels.
In the lavatory or something.
Right. No.
Baggage.
That's last. Like,
No, never mind. Forget I said that. Delete.
I just hang in the bathroom for an 8-hour flight.
I mean, as long as no one's in there, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I'd be up with the pilots eating my biscuits, just hanging out.
But would your food be invisible?
Oh,
If you have the invisibility cloak,
right, like under the cloak with me, just in the corner. I don't know. I'd make it work. We'd figure it out.
I like that sound so best. A beautiful testament that each of you wanted to inflict the pain on yourselves.
Mhm.
Oh.
Sometimes
until we thought about it, we were like, actually,
I'll second
I can
thought.
also think of someone else. So.
But the exact same teleportation, and if I can choose a person, I have a couple to trade off. Got a roster going, huh? If someone was break a leg for me to be a millionaire, I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
I'll pay the doctor bills. It's fine.
have you guys ever seen those TikToks that was like, would you slap your mom for $3 million? I said, Mom, get over here.
Yeah. My mom would be
Give me
like,
some of the
right
money.
now.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
If my dad ever heard that I had a chance for $3 million and all I had to do was slap him, he'd be like, "Are you an idiot?" Of course he would do that.
I'm like, don't even tell me.
Yeah.
I don't even need an explanation.
Or you could even
Yeah.
finish the question. A slap.
Would you? What?
Exactly. No questions will be asked, you know?
None.
It said, as a teacher, the whole communication thing would be amazing. I would love so much to be fluent in sign language. Same.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's hard. I took a semester of it in college and I was like, my saving grace for my GPA in that class was for some reason, because it was 2 professors in there, and by the grace of God, one of them thought I was hilarious. That got me through. So like when I would mess up, I'd be like, oh, and then he'd be like, just let me do it again. And I was like, God bless. It was saving grace. It's hard.
It is hard.
It's so hard.
Very hard.
Yeah.
It's amazing though to like watch people be fluent in it, but
Yeah.
Sam would wish for her son to be set up for life no matter what happens to her. And yeah, I don't care about no pain for my baby.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, email. Lizzie said no TSA for me.
Nope.
Laying in the corner like a
I've got my bags. I'm going right through.
the bag's under her invisibility cloak and she's gone.
Either that or do I even need bags? I'm invisible. I'll find them all when I get there. There you go.
Valid.
It's true.
I'm just a thief. I'm invisible.
She's just living the lavish life.
That's it. This is my best life. You know what? I agree. All the paper cuts. Somebody's gotten it. I want to be invisible.
Lizzie comes home with the Hope Diamond. Like, look.
I'm Voldemort.
Oh my gosh. I would smack my mom. I'm expecting her to automatically do it back. We'll definitely have to consult her beforehand because a Hispanic mom wouldn't care if it was for the money.
Me and my mom have actually had this conversation. I was like, Mom, if somebody offered me $3 million to smack you, would you let me? And she was like, I would literally like drive to you. I would spend the money to drive to you so you could smack me for $3 million. I said,
Yeah. I would definitely have to have a conversation. Like with my dad, I'm pretty sure I could smack and then we could talk about it later. my mom would definitely have to have like an in-depth conversation about it beforehand, because she will for the rest of our lives tell everybody how I hit her. Like she will tell everyone
They'll never live
while
down.
she sits in her new house with, you know,
Yeah.
her half of this $3 million. Like, but she will tell everybody how.
Making phone calls to
She
everyone
gonna,
on
yeah,
the roster.
be on the phone with my auntie, like, Jean, you won't believe it, Dana, she hit me in the face. And like, while she's living in her nice new house, you know what I'm
With
saying?
her robe on, with a freaking
Yeah.
cocktail in her hand.
Yeah.
100%.
I
Like
see it.
the West Indian hotline is way too for real.
Listen,
Just
my
tell
dad,
everybody.
Gary is so cheap. He would let me smack him for $100. He'd be like, sure, $10, a free dinner. Smack away, go for
Yeah.
it. He'd not care.
Oh my gosh. It's insane. My mom would teach that is much easier to get.
Oh yeah, my dad. No problem.
The smacking is one thing, but as someone who currently has a broken leg is a whole nother story. Yeah.
But for $3 million,
You get to pick.
but Megan, no, but just hear me out. Just hear me out. No, that's horrible. I'm making light of it. That's horrible.
Sam said, wouldn't even be a smack when they'd retell the story. Now all of a sudden you throw them across the room and they almost died.
Yeah. Now I'm shunned from
Yes,
every
spice it up. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my
You gotta spice
god.
it up.
And then they bought me this house out of pity because my life was almost forfeit for this $3 million.
The house is the least Dana could do.
Yeah, genuinely.
Okay. I have one last question. I kind of just added it in because I feel like I had a very prominent tie into the story. And then we can move on to Neg Kicking Puppets. But what did you think of the message of hope Laini Taylor wrote throughout the story?
That was so
You know,
sweet.
it's Karoo's name is hope.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. I liked it.
It was beautiful.
Mhm.
It's
Isn't it?
that dichotomy though, too. Like hope from demons. That's what really struck me. Like so often I liked her so much as a strong character, and I'm like, she's a demon. Like you never, that's why it was so unique and the writing was so amazing that it was just, it caught me by surprise a lot. That message of hope from a demon character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I liked it.
Mhm.
I think again it comes back. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it comes back to smart writing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, just smart writing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like when Brimstone was like, I think he was telling her like hope is the magic. Like it's like, you know, and I think also too, just like you know, like I've said it a few times, so sorry to be a broken record, but like the weight that Brimstone carries, and for him to say, like, I also hope for like this new world. Like it was beautiful. Like the way that she really did like weave that into the story.
Yeah.
And then just knowing that like he's the one that gave her the name. Like
Yeah.
for real. Like he chose that for her. And it's like I feel like he just sees her as like the hope. Because
Right.
you know, he still has the memory of that conversation in the dungeon, in the
Mhm.
cell,
Yeah.
about like admitting probably to the only person, you know, that hey, like I also have a hope for a future because we're gonna lose. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna lose, and this is no way to live. Like if we want a like if we have any hope, it will be for a new world. And so I don't know, it was very beautiful. Look at you. These questions are top tier.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Raising the bar really high. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that later.
I might put my rating up to 4.5. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just like after the discussion, because I think like the writing itself was so beautiful, and like how she was able to tie in so many different things, and like Lyndsay said, like the way she had us like rooting for the demons when it's usually like the opposite, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, let me go back to some of these comments.
I
Yeah.
have this. I was just looking at the last page.
Mm.
It says, Karoo nodded, the rest of him vanished, and she breathed deep of the raw air, gathering herself to follow. There was no more happiness, but under the misery, there was hope. That was the name Brimstone had given her more than a whim. This was not the end.
Oh,
That's such a good.
So good.
I'll cry right now.
I know. Oh,
Ooh, Kaylani, do we get to know now what the
Oh, yeah.
So it was, again, it's like something small, but for me, like I like it when especially YA, when they kind of push the envelope a little bit.
Hmm.
I just love that she died and she was like, sister, you gotta go, bitch. You're done.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He said, get out the way, because I'm coming in. And Brimstone said, you better do it.
Yeah, he was like, wink, wink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nudge,
He's
nudge.
easily pushed aside.
And it was just so savage. I just loved it. It was like, okay, I'm really rooting for you now.
Mm-hmm.
She was so strong, just like a strong. But Susanna is too. She really is. They're just very strong characters.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. Let's go through these real quick, and then we can have our few little questions for Night of Cake and Puppets. Liz agrees, and you always get the side eye when they're telling the story, all upset.
Yeah.
If someone wants to give me $3 million at the end of this, I'll be a lot less crabby.
Just saying.
Ooh, I love how Hope was also tied to Rebirth.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reincarnation, like the remaking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully not with the jackal head.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Oh, Liz loved it. She's able to come back and live another life and try to redo it all. So interesting to see what she will do now that she knows. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Bryce.
Hi, Bryce.
Welcome. Oh, do we want to do a refresh on our ratings? Original, and if yours has changed after our first little.
Ooh, stunning. Yeah.
4.5. It's staying at a 4.5.
My original was a 4. I think Kaylani did her thing, and it might be a 4.25 now.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so my original was a 4. And honestly, the discussion has been so good. It's a 4.5. Yeah, it's a 4.5 now. Yeah, I'm convinced. This was beautiful.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
My original rating was 4, but I am also bumping it up to 4.5.
Listen, Kaylani knows all things. We should just start. Yeah. She's that one theme is like she planted the seed now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I didn't pick up on it.
It was beautiful. Like we said, 4 to 5s all around.
Stunning. Ooh, there was one tiny part that I wanted to say. I thought it was really beautiful when Karoo bought the gloves.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. I
love
love
it. She wants to touch him a little bit.
Yeah.
Or even
She
just like
said fingerless gloves. She was like, I need my fingers out
Still
there.
needs to be a little weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like all like the little tie-ins, like the crescent-shaped
Daggers.
and like just like all of the little things that you saw, or even like the fact that after all of this time you realized that the person that she woke up in that chamber was her betrothed.
Yep.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it was just really like overall really smart writing, and for something that's like, not to say that you can't have smart writing in 2011 or 20 whenever this was written, like it's just shocking to see like how well this is written. Like I've read some things that I've read like that were published this year that aren't as good as this.
Yeah. Layered. Like you said, like when he woke up and he wanted to kill her off rip.
Yeah.
And Brimstone was like, get out. Like it's just like
It was so
like, yeah. Oh man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
This is best book club book this month.
It was so good. Laini Taylor, I mean, we need to give her credit for some seriously amazing writing. It was really, really well written. Really well written. I can't wait to see what the rest of the series, if that continues.
Well, I've heard that the Muse of Nightmares, what's that series called?
Strange the Dreamer.
Strange the Dreamer is like even more lyrical and beautiful. So like if this is her good stuff, like I can't wait to see what that is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, let's jump into Night of Cake and Puppets. Let's see what our ratings were. Like surface level thoughts. And then I do have like a few questions to go with this one.
Do you want to do Uno reverse this time? Dana, you go first.
No, I don't like going first.
Go for it.
We don't make the rules.
I have to go first?
Yeah.
Hi. Okay. I'm giving it 5 stars.
Stunning.
That's amazing. I give it a 3.75.
Okay.
Okay, I think like novellas are so easy sometimes to be like throwaway, but I don't feel like this was a throwaway. I feel like this was so important for like Susanna because I don't like in my opinion, I hope at least like we have not seen the last of Susanna, you know?
Yeah.
And like I just feel like it was so beautiful and also just like a nice little break from the intensity.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I'm not. I think a 5. I think a 5 because like for what it was, I think like for a little while I was at a 4, but I actually had like a drive yesterday that I was on, and I was able to think a little bit about these books, and like for a little bit I was at a 4, and then while I was just driving down the road, I just thought about it more, and I was like, for what it was, like its intention. And like the way that like I thought it was so stinking cutie. Oh God. Like and also the dedication when she was like, this is for what was it? What did it say? Something about like
isn't it? People
yeah, this is for the kissers or like the people who love kissing or something like that. And I was just like, and I think it just showed like such of like the innocence of Susanna. Yeah. Well, I settled on a 5, and I know that that's like controversial sometimes, like where people say like if it's not a 5 off rip in your mind, like it's not a 5. But I think I just needed to like sit with it and like have a moment to really digest it. But yeah, I think for what it was, it's a 5. Now, I would not want to read like a full length novel quite like that. Like I think like because it was very cutie, like, but like a novella. I was locked in. Like I was like, oh my God, I was on that little scavenger hunt with my boy, and just and when he was gone, I said, "Say it ain't so." Say it ain't so. When she said she saw the footprints coming out, I said, "No!" And obviously, like I already knew they were together because I read this, But I was just like, "What happened?" Like, yeah.
Okay, I also am giving it a 5 stars. I just want to say I read this completely with my eyes, and I just loved every second of it. And I'm not one to eyeball read, like, but I think it just also could have been like circumstantial because of what was going on at that time. So like this was like a nice reprieve and really just gave me like the lighthearted gushiness that I needed. So
it was.
And like for what it gave us, I just absolutely adored it. I did. Okay. Oh, Liz was going to give it 5 stars off the rip because he's my girl, but I gave it a 4.
Still a great rating.
Yeah.
So I gave it
as is a 3.
Yeah. Especially for a novella. Like a 3 is not
that's what I'm saying. A 3.75 for me with the novella. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I was discussing this before with you guys. That's what I gave Frost and Starlight. So a 3.75 novella for me is really high. So
thought the scavenger hunt got boring. I was smiling the whole time, giggling. It's so adorable.
I related a lot. Maybe this is weird. I related a lot to that story because I felt like knowing what their ages were and knowing that Susanna was a little more innocent. I thought it was so funny how she jumped straight from like, I'm to like, or more. Like, girl, slow down. Let's just worry about the kissing first. Like, let's get him to dinner first.
Yeah. I loved when she was like the talking portion of the evening. And I was like, she planned it. And I really do love that like she didn't use the wish to try and like sway his actual feelings.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I love that she used it to just make it an adventure.
Yeah.
And make some like the little peacock tracks, like give him just like a little dream come true for him. But I love that she did not like use it to sway him, even though he already liked her. Like we knew that, but she didn't, and like I just love that.
It's just make it more enjoyable for him.
Yes,
Considered him.
I loved though when Cass popped up and she's like, "I'm tired for this right now. Like you gotta go.
Get out of here!
You gotta be kidding me. This guy again.
You again."
Yeah.
I think that everybody like wants to have that magical meet cute experience, and that's what she gave him. She gave him the magic.
Yeah.
And like the literal sense, but also like their experience was like just so it was cute, it was magical, it was very cutie. And I feel like in like life, that's what you want. Like you want the butterflies, you want the magic, you want the sparks. And she literally gave him magic and sparks.
Yeah.
In her weird, funky little way.
Yeah.
It was just so her. But there was also that theme of they both were like, they were so into each other internally, but they both were like, does the other one like me? Like they just didn't, how, you saw their inner monologue and how into each other they were, but both of them didn't know if the other one reciprocated it.
Yeah.
And it was so cute. I was like, can't relate. I was talking to my husband about it actually. And if you had known, I straight up stalked him. Like I was, I was obsessed with, we were 19 when we met, and I was obsessed with him to the point where I was like, no, we're getting married. And I informed him. I was like, when he finally said to me, do you want to be my girlfriend? I was like, honey, I've been telling everyone that we've been dating for 6 months. So I didn't know we weren't.
You were manifesting.
Yeah. Well, this is news to me.
I was. And it was so funny because then my father-in-law now, but at the time, his dad, he comes in with my toothbrush one day and he was like, do you live here now? I was like, yeah, I do. I live here.
You know? I've had
it was so cute to see that because they were like similar ages to when my husband and I first met. And I related to Zuzana's whole attitude so much of being like, no, he's gonna like me. I'm gonna make sure that he likes me. It's cute.
Love it.
Cute. Sam said, I am unfortunately in the minority of feeling like it was a throwaway. Not because I didn't love Zoo or the backstory, but I just wasn't invested after the ending we got. Like, I want to get back to it. Yeah. Very true. Because I instantly felt like, okay, well, I want to pick up book 2 now.
Yes. Yeah.
Very valid. Sometimes I go conservative with a 4-star at first, and if I can't stop thinking about it after, that's very true. Her voodoo eyes. Oh, yeah. Relatable, Lyndsay. Too relatable. Okay, so I have a few questions. Let's see. Okay. How does Susanna see Mick, and how does Mick see Susanna? Does seeing both perspectives make the story more appealing?
Yep. It did. I loved seeing their inner monologues, both of them. I thought that made it so much cuter.
Yeah, I think that dual POV definitely made it much more enjoyable for me personally.
I didn't flip through it before I started. So when we first started with Susanna's perspective, while I was reading that, I was like, oh, I would love to see like if Mick thought this way too. And then I flipped the page and it said him, and I was like, oh, yes. I liked that part.
Yeah.
And I liked seeing how he was just as like self-conscious and scared by their interactions as she was. Like they were both in the same boat. And it was like, I think that's like the beauty of like first love. It's like, you know, it's also like fresh and so new, and everything is so self-conscious. And like, I think that's the reason why I really enjoy sometimes reading YA. It's everything so new, fresh, interesting,
exciting.
Yeah. And so like seeing them be like just so cute and vulnerable, it was just, I don't know, I loved it.
But also there was that scene where all she was talking about was how she wanted to like get together with him later, and she wanted him to show up on her scavenger hunt. And then she had this opportunity as they passed in the hallway to talk to him, and then she was like, nope. She like looked at the female baldness poster.
Yeah.
So it was that cute, like when you're young and all you want to do is talk to this person, but you also don't know how. Like you don't know how to do it. Very cute.
And then she switched that poster out with something, so he would never know what it was.
I love that, like, she thought to do that because he was like, I gotta go back and see what she was looking at. She was like, anxiety won on that one for her. Okay. Because it's like,
it was a good call.
Great job, Susanna.
I loved how like soft he was for her. Like, you know, he was just like a soft boy with his little violin. Oh my gosh, would he play for her?
He was like, just for me.
He really flipped the script on her.
He really
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
He
Which was-
reversed that.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah. That's so cute.
But I do really love how like he was such a fan of, like, he thought she was so amazing, you know, that like I feel like he's one of those people that would be so happy just to be in her orbit, like, and allow her to just be a free spirit and do her things, and he would watch her with so much like admiration and just be like, wow,
Like sparkle eyes.
make us the epitome of hard eyes.
Exactly. Sam said it's interesting because this one did feel YA, but we loved it more. We did.
It definitely did feel YA.
Yeah.
I think it didn't have to accomplish as much. And I think like for me, it's like its only thing was the cuteness of like Susanna and Mick. And I feel like she did that really well.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say about like YA fantasy in general. For me, there's two different ways it can work out. If you're talking about like life or death fantasy situations where the world is burning and there's war going on, the one way that's frustrating for me is you sit there and you're like, we don't have time to be worrying about this YA pettiness. The world is literally burning, right? And then there's, oh, wow, these people are so young and they're dealing with so much, but they balanced it well. And the reason I thought that Laini Taylor balanced it very well. Mm-hmm. That for me, I don't ever feel like there was a part where I was like, girl, who cares? The world is burning. You're making stupid decisions and the world is ending. I didn't ever feel that way. I feel like she balanced her being really young, but holding like the world on her shoulders and this family struggle and how she'd been raised. That's why for me. But I do agree that it did feel YA at parts.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that if I would have picked this up as a standalone without any like understanding of the characters or the world, I wouldn't have liked it as much. I think it's just because I was already invested in the characters. Yeah. And so then I didn't mind that it felt YA because it did. It felt very young, but it was just, it was like exactly what Karina said earlier. It was just so cutesy and like the light fluffiness that I needed at the moment.
Yeah. That's what Frost and I keep going back to this, but that's what Frost and Starlight was for me too, though, that you came off of, you know, like Wings in Ruin. And that was so intense. And then that's what novellas usually are meant for me a lot of the time. It's just kind of a little break. It's a breather.
Yeah.
And then you jump back into it. And this, I mean, obviously I haven't read the next one yet, but maybe this is the breather that you needed.
Yeah. I think it is that like breath of fresh air. And also, I don't know like publishing timelines, but like, you know, I bet if you were reading this as it was like coming out, this might have been like oh thank God, like we got something in the world, like while you wait for that, you know,
for a year, right?
Yeah. So this one, it looks like it came out after the series might have ended.
Yeah.
So it was a little shatter me action. It was a little like go ahead and throw it.
I believe so. So that I wonder if we had read it like at the end, how that could have changed our enjoyment. You know,
though, I think it would probably make people enjoy it more. Like if you think this story's done and then somebody gives you like I think of it in terms of like a Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Like that trilogy was complete, like it was done. And then she came out and gave us Killjoy, which is a prequel, right? And it's great to read it. If anybody ever does read it, it's great to read it in the beginning. But like, it's like just having that little taste back into that world sometimes is just such a special little treat when you think that there's nothing left.
When you're yearning for those characters or like a little touch of that world again.
Yeah. It could have been a situation too where maybe Laini Taylor didn't even expect her readers to connect to Susanna as much as they did. Maybe she really did design her to be a side character, but she just took off and people just connected with her. So she was like, let's give them a little bit more Susanna that I wasn't planning on giving them.
Yeah.
Oh, love that.
I just love getting to know Mick more.
She's the cutest.
I was gonna say, what? Tell me he does not look way older than 18. Like this is a grown man.
Isn't he like in his 20s?
Yeah, he is.
I thought
he's like 22.
Is it?
He still looks
because
older.
he says at the beginning he's like she's 18. It's a little young, but not extremely young. He's definitely older than her.
I thought he was like early like 21, 22. That's how I read it.
I still feel like he looks older. Maybe it's the goatee.
Not old enough to
He
have that much
does in those
facial hair.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those pictures age Mick. Okay.
I do think Laini writes good funny moments.
Mhm.
Can be hard to do well. Yeah. Oh, Liz said the next book has even better ratings on Goodreads, so I'm excited.
That's very
Better
exciting.
than the first book. Wow. Okay.
Funny.
He's 21. I just looked it up.
Okay.
Okay.
His name is Nicholas. Did I not know that? Like Nicholas, but Mick.
I think it was said somewhere.
Was it?
Possibly. I could be wrong. Okay, so this is the only other question I have, but how do you think the illustrations added to the story? Would you be as interested in the story without them?
Yeah, for me, I would have, I think, the same interest level even without them, because honestly, like, I was listening to it and playing like Happy Color, and then kind of flipped through and went back and kind of like thought about the story as I looked through the picture. So for me, like, I think it was like a nice little bonus. Like, I think it's fun anytime like a book adds in just like another layer of just like immersing you into the world. But I was still interested in the story without them, because I went back.
Yeah.
I gotta go pick up myself a physical copy because I didn't even know there was illustrations.
I just got it on Libby. I read it through. I looked at the pictures through Libby.
I did Kindle Unlimited. It's on Kindle Unlimited.
Oh, I forgot it was on KU. Yeah, I
That's
listened to. I was doing Happy Color because I forgot that I could get on KU. So I was just
Oh.
happy coloring away.
I hope you enjoy.
I've never read a graphic novel before. I've never seen it. So I really liked it, and I would have been just as interested in the story. I felt like the illustrations were just a little extra for me.
Yeah.
Like I would get to the point of the story where I was on my Kindle and they would describe a scene and I would be like, I hope when I tap, it's a picture.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see it. Like, I hoped when they were like describing the puppet and she was like, oh, it was an angel puppet with a heart with a sparkler in it. I was like, is she going to give us a picture of this? Because I want to see it. And then you flip and it would be a picture. I'd be like, oh, okay. So I thought it added to it.
Yeah. I loved the incorporation of the illustrations. It just like enhanced the story and the enjoyment, you know, because it like we got to see and visualize some of the scenes that were taking place and the characters and things like that. I just thought it added like a little touch of magic, you know?
Even the pictures at the end with like her and Karoo.
Oh my gosh.
So
oh, the graphic novel? Oh, no, the Polaroids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of them hugging.
Oh, they're so cute. Or even with Mick.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see if I can.
Lyndsay, just a question for you. I know you said you've never read a graphic novel. How do you feel about like cute fall vibes? Are you a fan?
Yeah. I mean, I'm cool with them.
Great.
They're better than winter. I hate winter.
Wonderful. Do you have a wish list? If so, can you put pumpkin heads on it? Because this is what you need to read. And I'm going to send it to you if you could just add it to like, if you have your wish list.
Okay.
Because I would love for that to be your first real graphic novel. Because I just...
Okay, wait, I'm looking at it right now. Okay, can I ask a question though? As a graphic novel newbie, if it's Rainbow Rowell.
Yeah.
Okay. If I get it on Kindle, one of the things that bothers me is it's black and white. Should I get is it color? Should I get the physical copy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just put
Wait,
it on
are you talking about Pumpkinheads or this?
Pumpkinheads.
Okay.
Is that a colored graphic novel? Should I get it in like, because that's the thing. Sometimes you read it on Kindle and now you miss out on the colored illustrations.
Yeah. I know the actual book does have color.
Okay. I'm gonna get it right now. It's $8.99 on Amazon. I'm buying it.
No, I was gonna get it for you. Just add it to the wish list.
No. Okay, but then all right, wait. Under the condition that you send me yours.
Oh.
If not, I'm not sending you Jack, you know what.
Fine. Fair. Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
This is not what.
Okay. So the last question before we leave is, do you have any theories or predictions on where Days of Blood and Starlight will take the story?
I have one. Just one.
Hear it. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'll go at the end because I want to hear what you guys are first.
Okay.
I know where I am hoping we see a little bit more, but I don't know if it's gonna go that way. I really want to. I'm hoping she goes more into Akiva's past.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hoping. Like I said before, I feel like there's a bigger story here that we're not getting yet. And I want to see more. And I also would love to see if they've crossed paths before. Is it just me or did I feel like Akiva, like I felt like, I don't know. I'm wondering if there's going to be like a past life sort of thing. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm very interested also in Akiva's backstory. I think just like the little tidbits of, I believe they said, I could be tripping, but like that his mom was from like a group of people that like is not somebody his father would have normally like down and dirty with. And then like, so I'm interested in that, and also how they make it, how it's like my mother just let me go away, and I just wonder like if there's more to that. But I also, okay, how, you know, how Kaylani had brought up about like how this kind of pushed the envelope with the sister, right? Of like taking over her body. And it said that it buried her or like kind of squished her down. So like she's still in there is how it read to me. And I'm just interested, will that become like a bigger thing?
I remember the impression that the sister was gone.
Huh?
I thought the sister was like pushed out.
Let me see if I can find it. You guys continue and let me see if I can.
Yeah, let me know, because if that is the case, now I'm curious about that.
What she was saying before, though, how he was kind of like, he was a bastard. You know what I'm saying? Like his father was of power. And one thing that was intriguing to me was that he said that he didn't even know how many siblings he possibly had. So are they going to come in to the picture somehow? That's my interest.
I feel like we should be seeing more of them, especially with, you know, this war still kind of going on between the Seraphim and the Chimera. So I think maybe in the next book we'll see more of them, possibly.
Okay.
Days of Blood in Starlight. So.
My theory is, so they had talked about that the smoke was really just a vessel. Like it was just like a way to bring the spirits. It didn't have any magic to it. It's just like a thing. And that the strong-willed, if something was close enough, could, you know, get some. But they also said that you do have to be quick, but you have a certain time frame for which you could still capture a soul. So I'm wondering if Karoo is still within the time frame to save Brimstone.
To save who?
Brimstone.
Oh.
Because he is, if we're thinking about like the grand scheme of things, one of the strongest willed.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if he had the foresight to like create a body for himself, with the idea that maybe he wouldn't be able to like withstand or make it past like that life, you know? But that's
do we think they're all really gone?
No.
I think there's more of a story there.
I think just the portal is cut off, right? So she can't get to that.
Like, gone how? Like,
yeah, but then he got into the actual, he didn't just cut off the portal, he actually went into the shop and got her sketchbook. So he was saying that like he killed them.
Yeah.
Okay. I found it. Sorry.
Go for it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. It says there was even less resistance than she'd expected, a sensation of surprise, a feeble struggle. Cairo's soul was a sullen thing made weak by envy. It was no match for madrigals and subsided almost at once. It wasn't expelled, only shoved writhing into its own depths. The vessel remained to all eyes Cairo. So I'm just interested if she's going to kind of
make an appearance again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters where I'm like, who are we going to see again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She said the sister was pushed down, not out. That's how she said. Okay. Thank you guys for clearing that up.
That's the interesting theme with like resurrection and like saving the soul and bringing it back. Like, is anyone really gone? And yeah.
Valid question. I'm with Liz too. Like, Karu's going to come into her true power. Mm-hmm. Which I can't wait to see, because we got to see a little snippet of like what her Hamsas can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting to me.
Yeah, really cool. Oh, Megan said, I'm not a huge graphic novel person either, but there are some I love. Heartstopper and More Olympus are my favorites. Yeah, Heartstopper.
Both are good.
Yeah.
I've heard about those.
I'm obsessed with both.
We said, how many lifetimes have they been connected? Are they fated?
That's what I'm saying. I feel there's a story there. And I just am like, if there's like the theme of resurrection, have they crossed paths before? I don't know.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
It felt like when we were in the past, like there was an instant kind of kinship or connection between Akiva and Madrigal, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, Akiva and Madrigal, when she found him on the battlefield, he automatically, I read it as like he immediately felt a connection to her. And I'm like, is that telling that maybe this wasn't their first time they connected? I don't know. I'm probably reading into it, but
no, I love that.
That's exciting to think about. The part that interests me with that is that the reincarnation was for the chimera and not the seraphim. So it's like he would have been, in my mind, he would have been knowledgeable about like them crossing paths before because they don't have the reincarnation, but his mother is not of a normal like lineage that they created the seraphim with. So like what if he also can be reincarnated?
True, but also what form was Madrigal / /Ǩru taking? Could he recognize her soul but not her?
Possibilities are endless.
You know?
Yeah.
Like what if she didn't come back looking the same? You know, like Cairo didn't want to come back looking like a jackal. If she had changed some elements, it would have been Cairo's soul, but it wouldn't have been the body. So my thing is, did he recognize the connection of her, not necessarily what she looked like? I don't know. That was what I was thinking.
I think yes, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I said, I'm not the sister.
The emoji kills me.
I like that Kaylani.
Yeah.
I feel like Stone had a backup plan. He's been doing this for a while, so he had to be prepared. Yeah.
And maybe he's been resurrected before. We don't know how many lives they've lived.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's interesting too because like we saw that he was willing to do what he had to do to save like Ǩru, like, you know, to save somebody he loved. And so you would think though that for himself and Issa and like the people that were a part of like his, you know, day to day, like the people that he loved, like I hope they're not gone. Like I'm not done with them. Like I hope they're still there.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Well, I think this was such a fun discussion. You know, our first dive into Laini Taylor's work. I think like it seems like we're all pretty excited to continue on with book 2.
Yeah.
Days of Blood and Starlight. And ready to pick this up, you know? But we will be discussing this in October next month, most likely towards the end of the month. So we have a little bit of time to get to this one. And we will be on Kaylani's channel for that one. So just stay tuned to socials. Everyone is linked down below. I didn't say that, but you'll find all these ladies down below. So you can stay up to date on who and where we'll be discussing the future books. But is there anything else you guys would like to say? Any final words?
Thank you,
I'm
guys.
so glad we liked it. Because imagine having to do this for the next couple of months. And we were all like, it was a 1-star. I'm so glad.
That would be not good.
Not good. But this does make me even more excited, and the fact that we're moving on with the rest of her works too. It's like there's so much fun stuff to come.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone that joined.
Yes.
Thank you, Karina, for hosting.
Yes, thank you.
Said this was fun. I had no idea what to expect, but happy I joined this read along. I had no idea who this lady was before.
No,
I
owned them all. I had no clue who she was.
Perfect. Well, we're so happy that, everyone decided to come hang out with us and chat about our first 2 books. And thank you, lovely ladies, for, being on this ride with me and everybody. And I just can't wait to pick up the next book.
Stunning.
So excited.
Yeah.
So excited. But I hope we'll see you guys at the next live show.
Yes. Stunning.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.